Yeah, well, obviously, I've lost a game to a good football team, number one in the country. Proud of the way our football team started that game, fighting our tail off. Second quarter, obviously, had a couple opportunities there where we had some one-on-ones where, obviously we talked all week long about being able to come down with a couple of those plays, and then having those turnovers there, the 3 interceptions in that first half. So obviously can't do that for sure any week, but especially when you're talking about playing against the number one team in the country. But halftime addressed our guys. Just wanted to see them come out and fight, give it everything they had, stick by each other's side through thick and thin. That's what we're all about here. And obviously appreciate the effort by every single guy on that team, the way they finished the football game. But we're ready to go. We're ready to get back to Muncie, get on with our process here for this next week. Our first game back at home, and that's our primary concern.
Coach, talking about the week, I know you're pretty back and forth on Semonza and Hatcher. What really put Semonza over here?
Oh, I think we took advantage of his snaps in week one more than anything else and put together a good week of practice. And obviously we communicated with him yesterday who was going to start the football game. So, obviously it was tough outing, but you're playing against the best defense in the country. No shame in that. And a lot of things to learn from. Obviously, the tip balls that ended up in the air, they did a good job of making a play. So I got to give those guys credit for that.
In their defense as well, they went all over that first quarter. What can you say about that first quarter?
Yeah, I mean, that's, we talked about that. It's the same message no matter what meeting that we've had this week. It's been the same message about just taking it one play at a time, man. Play with ball state effort, have a great attitude no matter what, through thick and thin. Obviously, we know there's going to be adversity in a football game like this. There's always adversity in any game and in life for that matter. So really just wanted to see us attack it with a positive can-do attitude that, if we believe, then we can have a chance to go on the field and have success. And I thought the guys took the field with that attitude.
Offense kind of right field, fast-paced offense. How do you think the defense did?
Competed. You're talking about the best athletes in the country that we just lined up on that football field with. And again, I stress we competed. Our guys gave it everything they had. You have to give them credit. They've done an unbelievable job here, back-to-back national championships. Obviously, I know they're going to have a great football team this year. I have a lot of respect for Coach Smart. Had a chance to interact with him before the game and post-game there. So we got our guys competed.
Taking Semonza out in being Hatcher in that second half.
Yeah, took a couple hits there in the first half. And obviously, again, Lane didn't do anything wrong a week ago. When you talk about you got two quarterbacks that have done some really positive things, Lane's played a lot of football throughout the course of his college career. So made that decision at half just to get Lane out there and let him go execute one play at a time.
No, wouldn't have made a difference in the outcome, but the 2 plays before the punt return, you had just missed 2 touchdowns. Like, kind of, what is it like? How much did that bother you, or just kind of what do you have to say?
Well, yeah, I mean, you're playing against the best defense in the country. We knew that there was a couple balls. We talked about it all week long. There's going to be some one-on-one opportunities outside the numbers. So between the numbers and the sideline, there's going to be some opportunities. Do they have great length? Yes. But we got some guys that are playmakers, and we knew that we're going to have to come down with a couple of those footballs. You're not going to have wide open throws. You're going to have to make a couple of contested catches. And, it is what it is. Not down on our guys. Obviously, we knew when we had a chance, we had to try to deliver, and we'll get back to work. We'll be all right.
Have you ever seen an interception, the ball goes off your tight end directly in your arms?
Can't say that I have, to be honest with you, but things happen. And again, give them credit for their instincts taking over and making a play.
2 straight SEC games here now with crowds that obviously are going to see bigger fun from that team. How is that going to help you the rest of the season?
Well, you're not going to line up and compete against anybody that's better than the 2 teams that we just competed against. So we're moving on, full speed ahead here. Can't wait to get back to Muncie. Can't wait to start watching film on our next opponent. And I love our football team. I love the attitude. I love everything that they stand for. I love the way the look was in the locker room post game there. Everybody knows that we leave this game right here in Athens, and we're going to get back. We're going to start grinding our tail off to have a great week of practice here and stick to our process. They're number one. They're number one. They're really good in all 3 phases of the game. Kentucky's good as well. Obviously, they gave Georgia a great game a year ago. Obviously, it was later in the season there, but Georgia's pretty special. They're the champs for a reason, and you saw that on display today.
Coach, what about the atmosphere here at Sanford Stadium? You talked about you dreamed of playing in atmospheres early this week. What about this?
It was awesome. Obviously, I told our guys embrace the boos when you take the field. Once the boos go away, it's time to play some ball. And listen, it's awesome. I love to see when a college program in a college town has that kind of support. It's really cool. Great opportunity for our guys. And I thought they were all cheering for us. We were red and black too, so I thought they were all cheering for us. To be honest with you.
How do you think about injury went?
We'll have to see. We had some setbacks there in the first half, and we'll have to get back here. Back home, back to Muncie, and see where that goes on Sunday and Monday.
Any final questions for Coach?
Oh, Coach, can you hear me?
Oh, yep, I can hear you, Gus.
No, thanks, Coach. Sorry if I repeat a question. It's hard for me to hear them. But like we talked about, these opponents are very staunch. But second quarter is obviously giving you guys some problems the last 2 weeks. What are you seeing kind of change in that frame?
Well, I think first and foremost, there's balls that were tipped that ended up in the air. So I don't think it was directly a negative decision by any means on the part of the quarterback. Obviously, the ball was tipped. It went into the air as opposed to going to the ground, and their guys made a play. So you have to give them credit for that. I'm not going to put too much stock in that. Obviously, it's about the decision-making piece of it. Did they get a hand in there? I'll have to wait and see when I watch the tape. But you got to give them credit, man. They're number one for a reason, and they did a good job taking the ball away there in the second quarter.
For sure. And then also special teams. Kentucky took a kickoff back last week and then a punt return today. Anything you want to see fixed on that side of that aspect?
Yeah, obviously, when you talk about the speed that they possess in this conference, obviously we knew that those are certain possibilities. You've seen that on tape, so we got to continue to keep working on us. That's something that's been a strength of ours, and I have every reason to believe that'll continue to be a strength as we move forward.
For sure. And the first quarters have been really strong for you guys. Anything you feel like is really working that you guys can build on?
I think it's just our guys are doing a good job of taking the field, believing in the one play at a time mentality. When the ball was kicked off, nobody was overwhelmed by the stage. I think that was the case back-to-back weeks, and I think our guys competed. Obviously, once we got into the second quarter, the last couple of weeks, a couple of things didn't go our way, and we'll keep working on the practice field to get those attacked.
For sure. Did someone ask about Joey Stemler's injury? Any status on him?
Yeah, that question was asked just about injuries, but really we had a couple things pop up there in the first half, and really just we need to get back to Muncie here on Sunday and Monday and kind of see where we're at with that, see what the severity of those injuries is.
For sure. And then last thing, Charlie Spiegel came in and had some success there. I know, it was the game was out of reach at that point, but any chance that he could earn some more playing time?
Every snap is a meaningful snap, and I thought Charlie did a good job of stepping in there and really doing a good job of running hard with the carries that he got. So great young man. He's going to keep working hard, and I think it's just a credit to him. When his number was called, he was ready to just go give it everything he had.
All right, that's it. Thanks, Coach.
All right, thank you.
Marquez, back-to-back physical games, both SEC. How is this going to be different from the MAC competition you're going to face here in a couple weeks?
I'm not going to look at it any different. It's an opponent is an opponent. I don't look at it as SEC or MAC or anything like that because I could play with anybody.
Go ahead. Okay. You have the O-line today. You're obviously going against Georgia. It's going to be tough. When that O-line breaks down, what goes through your thought process as you look on and turn it out on the spring?
Let's get to the next play. It's as simple as that. What's the next call? And I'm ready to run the next play. Can't dwell on the past. We got to look in the film room, see what we messed up on, and get better week to week.
Go back to the film room and get better. These first two games, what do you guys think you're going to improve on?
We're just giving them the games. I mean, you just see in the first quarter, we're right there every time. We was even winning the first quarter last game. When the fumbles come and, the interceptions come, when we just give them momentum and give them the ball, then it's just you can't win the game like that, especially these big games. When we're keeping the first downs rolling, when we're running regular offense and stuff like that, I can't complain,
With the QB changes, you got Marquez Cooper, Keionté in there. Does that affect you at all with those two changes?
No, not at all. You know, that's a coach's choice. And that's something I choose to stay out of. All I gotta worry about is the running back spot. You know, so I leave that to them.
And I know you said, you kind of take it game by game, because you're having to get on it, but you can't kind of have that crowd out there. What was it like playing in front of that?
It's amazing every single time because especially after the first couple games in the MAC, the crowd goes down. So, playing in front of those big crowds is just something I wanted to do my whole life. Something I want to continue to do until I can't no more. And so, I mean, I'm just blessed to have the opportunity to play in front of that crowd, no matter what, how the game goes. I hope, the scouts could see that, I'm a baller at the end of the day.
Final question for Marquez.
Hey, Marquez. Last year when you played Georgia, you had some success statistically, and then today was kind of a tougher game. Was there anything different out there for you?
I mean, from the naked eye, I just didn't see the holes opening up too well. Like I would break the first tackle most times, and then it would just be a rally. So shout out to them, but yeah, it was just unfortunate circumstances today. That's all I can really say. I'm upset about the outcome.
Yeah, I would say that first part was really well for you guys. What do you think really clicked well?
Everybody did their 111, and you just do your job and don't worry about like what's going on with all the shifts and emotions that they did. Just do your job, and communication was a big part of it as well, and running to the ball. And I think that helped us out a lot in the first quarter.
Forcing that fumble as well.
Quarterback tried to make a move. I had a good angle on it, and I was able to put my head on the ball. Just upset we couldn't come up with that recovery.
Playing the number one team in the nation as well. You're in a big atmosphere like this. What does that mean to you?
It's just a football game. Never let the crowds get to me and nothing like that. It's just another day in the office.
And with Paul being now kind of stepping into a bigger role, how are you feeling now?
I feel great. The first couple plays went slow because I played majority of safety the whole fall, spring, and the summer. So coming in the box and going lateral instead of backers most definitely was a challenge for me. But as the game rolled on, and then I was challenged a lot this week by Tyler Stockton, my defensive coordinator. So he got me ready, and I most definitely took on a challenge full speed.
Like you said, you played in a really big atmosphere. A lot of your schedule is the MAC. How do you think playing this kind of atmosphere help you for this season?
I think physically, like nobody's gonna match Georgia physically, but football is football. No matter who you play, yeah, we played the number one team in the country, but at the end of the day, MAC schools be the SEC school in bowl games in the past, and football is football. We just played the number one team in the country, though.
Any final question for Keionté?
Keionté.
Hey,
Gus Martin. Thank you, Gus.
Yeah, what's up? Playing these SEC offenses, obviously, the scoreboard was lopsided, but do you think that just having those tough, athletes and schemes and everything can kind of prepare you for MAC play in a better way?
Oh, most definitely, because the speed and the physicality, like I said, like that's unmatched, yeah. But I most definitely think it'll help us on going in the MAC play, yeah.
And for you individually, I mean, you come in with an expanded role today and lead the team in tackles and, like I said, force a fumble. And does that just give you kind of confidence moving forward?
Yeah, I already had the confidence. Like I said, Coach Stock pushed me like really hard this week, and the first couple of days were challenging, but being prepared, preparation is the best eliminator for all the jitters and all that, and try to keep my swagger no matter who we play and no matter what my role is to help the team.
For sure. And then last one, what do you feel like the defense can still kind of clean up after these first 2 weeks?
We got to do better with missed tackles. I missed a tackle. They end up getting in on the end zone. They ran a little inside zone. So open field tackling is a big key. And then we got to reroute better when we go in the zone.
I mean, it was a dream come true. That's what you think of when you think of college football. You think of thousands of screaming fans, big stadiums, best team in the country. So it was cool to be out there for sure.
And last week you came in that second quarter, named QB1 this week in the starter. What was going through your head as you made this close QB1?
Preparation was the same. I always prepare like I'm going to play, whether I do or not. So, I was ready. Unfortunately, I didn't play very good. Failed my brothers today. I got to play better. No matter whose fault anything was, three turnovers, just nobody's going to win a game doing that. So, got to play better on my part.
Those three turnovers, what are you looking to improve as you go towards back in months, being closer to that.
Just a couple miscommunications, got to clean it up, make sure we're all on the same page and get ready to roll.
Gus Martin on Zoom.
Hey, Kadin. Yeah, going off those 3 turnovers, I mean, coach kind of said he doesn't put too much stock into, especially the other 2 that were kind of tipped. Did you feel like those were kind of just fluky?
I mean, of course, but I mean, it doesn't matter. They go on my stat sheet. Not that stats matter or anything, but turning over the ball 3 times, giving them the ball and right in scoring position, you're just screwing your defense over, and there's no way we're going to win games doing that. So, got to be better.
Yeah, and even earlier, in the first quarter, early in the second quarter, like you were still kind of trying to take some shots downfield. Is that something that you feel like when you're leading the offense is an approach you take? You want to kind of push the ball downfield?
Of course, I think we got great weapons, on the outside and our receivers, so I got full trust in those guys, and I'm going to keep letting it go. I'm going to keep letting them make plays, keep letting them do them. We just got to regroup, make sure we communicate better for sure.
Was your evaluation of the game overall different, kind of having a flip script this time where you started the first half and sat the second half compared to last week?
No, like I said, I'm going to prepare always like I'm the guy, whether I'm first, third string, it doesn't matter. I'm going to prepare, make sure if they do call my number, I'm going to be ready.
For sure. And then last thing, just anything from the first 2 weeks against SEC opponents that you feel like will help prepare you against, I guess, quote unquote, lesser teams in conference play coming up?
I mean, we're not going to look at any of those teams as lesser by any means, by any stretch, but it is for sure good to go against top teams in the country coming out of high school. It's good for me to see the speed. I didn't think I went out there and didn't belong. Today I looked like I didn't, of course, but got to be better. But I mean, I think going forward, we're going to approach it just like any other week. We're going to prepare like there's nobody, I'm saying nobody's lesser than anybody else. So we're going to prepare, and we got to turn things around.
All right. Thanks, man.